The world want to know. Big Rory McCann.
Really sorry about that. I won't sing, I won't do that to you guys. That's not.
Oh, we're a great entrance. We're going to open this for questions from the audience right away. Just first, two small things. You against Brienne of Tarth. That looks awesome. That looks brutal.
Very sore.
How much of that did you have to do yourself, and how much could you just choke off on your stuntman?
I do have a stuntman, but I would say 90%. I didn't fall off the cliff.
I do hope so, yes.
Yeah, I fell off the cliff. I've fallen off plenty of cliffs before, and I don't do that anymore. But the rest, I would say, was me, and the same with Gwendolyn. She had to do all her stuff. She had a stuntman as well, but it worked better that we did it, and we wanted to do it all ourselves. But what a fight! Did anyone see it? My God! I mean, these punches that she was doing at the end, I mean, that was real. She was punching me in the face. Thank God I've been punched in the face so much in the past, it doesn't really affect me. You know, I've got no cartilage. But, we trained for a month or something like that, solid every day. We had to. In a marquee in Belfast, and then suddenly we went to Iceland, and the whole terrain was different. We were on a slope, and it was hard volcanic rock. And after a few days, it took 2 or 3 days to film that, at least. We were bits, we were cut and bruised, but it was great fun. Really good fun, until she hit me in the nuts. That actually affected, I played quite a bit of golf, and that actually affected my putting for a whole season. I was 3-putting for a year.
That's so cliche, Scotty plays golf. Is there a cliche police that says you have to do golf when you're from Scotland? Yeah.
No, if you're Scottish, you can't help playing golf. It's just in your blood. I'm surrounded by golf courses. Just when I look out the window, I see golf courses. I like that. In fact, that's how I sleep. If I'm having a power nap or any time I can't sleep, I imagine I'm playing one of my favourite golf courses, and I just try and lose them all, and eventually I fall asleep.
Nathalie, you're in one of the greatest scenes on the show ever, the scene in the fighting pits with the dragons. And I was always wondering how much of that was real, how much of the fire was real, how exhausting was that it looks like. You've been doing that for hours and days and days.
So that sequence took, I think, about 10 days to shoot in total, with the scenes and everything. A lot of it was real in terms of the fire. I think Game of Thrones broke a world record or something for the amount of people they set on fire in one day. And seriously, it was written down that I think it was something like 9 people. It might be more than that. It feels like it was more than that.
The smell of singed hair that day must have been incredible.
Well, actually, the stunt guys that did that are they're in layers and layers and layers of these suits that have been treated in some chemical that means that they're protected for a period of time while they're on fire. And so their actual hair themselves is completely covered. What was the most terrifying one that I witnessed was there was 2 stunt people who were half-lit, so they had no sort of protection on their faces, but they were set on fire on their backs, so they were half engulfed in flames. It was quite something to see. So that was obviously real. The dragon obviously is not real, as much as we'd like it to be. Oh, sorry guys. No, it was mostly a lot of running around, and it was exhausting. We had a good time.
When you look at a dragon then, what do you see on set? Is it a tennis ball or what is it?
It's like, well, there's a few. There's like this, there's a long stick with a green ball on the end, and then someone's like waving it around, so our eye line sort of follows. Or if it depends, because if it's like in the distance, then they'll just give us a cross on the camera or on a green screen or whatever. We watch that, or we use our imagination. If the dragon is moving past us, they kind of like give us a rough eye line, and we have to find it. And yeah, that's pretty much how it happens.
Okay. I'm pretty sure we have a lot of questions from the audience. Yeah, there's people waiting. Come forward, come forward. Yes, just come forward. We're trying to do as many as possible and as fast as possible. Okay. But I think you were first, right?
Hey guys, I love the show, you're great actors, and I just wanted to ask you, how do you identify with your characters, and how do you like Germany so far?
Okay, did you get that? How you identify
how
with
do I
characters?
identify with my character? I think, I don't know actually. I mean, I know that I definitely can't speak 19 languages, so I don't have that in common with her. I can just about speak English well. I think Masande and I both share the fact that we're thinkers, very observant, don't necessarily say a lot, but are observing things around. Well, I do that, I sort of watch people as opposed to necessarily engage straight away. But yeah, I think we have that in common. Both like reading, quite like reading a good book. That's about it. And I really enjoyed Germany so far. I've not got to see a whole lot of it, as it's such a flying visit, but everyone's been so friendly, and I think that speaks much more for a place than necessarily things there. So I've really enjoyed meeting everyone here.
I hope you're not going to expect me to be so articulate with this. I mean, the hound likes fighting and fucking. The hound's a very grumpy bastard before breakfast. I'm quite like that. He's all right with his own company. I'm quite like that, maybe. I like fire, not too near. But that's about it. I'm quite a grumpy bastard, actually, to be honest, until I've got a good belly full of food in me. And fuck water, bring me more wine. So yeah, I think I probably drink too much, a bit like the hound as well. I'm going to have to sort that out. But that's about it. Yeah. I'm not as violent as him. I would hope to think I'm not as damaged as that poor big bastard. And I'm alive. I'm alive. The hound's dead. Unfortunately.
Okay. I have someone over here. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there's a lot of people.
Hey, on the set you have many horses. You both can ride before, or you don't ride horses on the set?
I learned to ride for the show. In fact, I was quite scared of horses before I learned to ride. I got bitten by a horse when I was about 8 years old, and so from that point on I was really scared of them. And then when I got the part, they were like, "Oh, so you start your horse riding lessons?" I was like, "Sorry, what?" Yeah, and I was kind of terrified, and then I just had to just get on with it. And I actually really enjoy horse riding now, and I really like horses, so that's really good. Yeah, I'm definitely not an expert by any means, but I very much enjoy it now.
Yeah, I had a similar memory at that age, about 7 or 8, and I remember being put on a horse and, I don't like this! So there was maybe an underlying fear, and I think I did a couple of jobs before Game of Thrones where I was maybe on a horse, but I had to learn to properly at least close to gallop a horse and be confident, so I had to take many lessons. I got better, I did enjoy it, although there's still that memory, there's still that fear. You're thinking Christopher Reeves, you know, and it's pretty dodgy, and they're very skittish horses. But my first horse in Game of Thrones was a horse called Fat Bob, and I'll never forget going through the castle the first day that the Hound appears, that first episode. That was in Scotland, in fact. And on action, all the horses went to go through the castle gates, and Fat Bob saw a pear tree and decided to go right and eat all the pears. So I'm not great with horses. I used to live in Iceland, and the horses there are literally that size of me. But they're great because you can ride the horse. If there's a stone, you've got to lift your foot. So I like Icelandic horses.
Okay, one over here.
Which is your favorite character and favorite house in Game of Thrones?
Okay, that's a hard question. I generally say, like, I have to be loyal to my girl, Daenerys, and the Targaryens, but if I was to step outside of that, I think I'm quite a big fan of the Starks. And yeah, I think they're good people, I like them. And I guess a favourite character, I quite like Tyrion because he's just so funny. Sorry. He's so funny though.
Sorry, I mean, that's the thing. Tyrion's my favourite as well. I mean, I love the guy. I mean, I even remember reading all the books. You read the book, and you are so cool. You are so clever. Yeah, you know, and I love Peter, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, I got out drinking with him in Belfast, which is, you know, this is like a few years ago. I remember the last time I was there, maybe 3-4 years ago, and we were in a bar, and you could see some fans starting to creep up. They can't believe the Hound and Tyrion are drinking together in this pub, and you can see them creeping up, and some guy just turned around and go, "Fuck off." Sometimes I have to be the Hound in real life.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
Who would you like to see on the Iron Throne if you had to choose?
I have to say Daenerys. I'm sorry. Again, I'm so loyal like that. I think she's. I just think the character itself has the right moral compass, really, to be a ruler, and she's got the strength, and she's got the name, all of that. I think I'd quite like her to be queen. So.
I don't know. I can't think. I mean, to be honest, I didn't watch Game of Thrones last year, but I don't know what's going on. Is that bad?
Okay.
I have a question for Nathalie. Could you say a sentence in one of the 99 languages that Missandei can speak?
Okay. I'm going to say something that I've said a million times, just because it's kind of drummed into my memory. Hang on. Oh gosh. Daenerys germatmo ionija demas, en lentro Targaryen, zio prosio alos, don zapti marino daria. I think you guys know what I just said, don't you?
That's impressive.
Thanks. It takes a lot of time to learn, so.
Okay.
So if you could pick one character to survive until the very end of the series, which one would you pick?
One character.
Besides yourself.
Oh, of course, yeah. Ooh. That's a really... There's so many good ones. That's so hard. I'm going to say... maybe him. He can survive. Let's because he's great and we always like watching him. So.
Well, I would like to play my own character. I would like to be alive and carry on rampaging through all the lands. Maybe even fight evil. You know, bring me back, please.
One more over here.
Okay, mine is a little out of the odds. It's not about Game of Thrones.
What?
Yeah. I want to ask Rory, would you... Yes. Would you be in another Edgar Wright production? Like...
Oh, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Edgar Wright, what a dude. And, you know, Siren. And I love that job. I mean, maybe I love that job because I always knew I would never forget my lines the next day. You know? But what a fun crew and cast to be with down in the village, in Wales it's called, down in England. I thought we were going to Wales. But yes, whatever they wanted me to do, I would do it. Yeah, you never know. I'm available.
Maybe next time they'll allow you to say "narb" yourself.
Narb.
Okay. I can translate, yeah. She wants to know when you get into character, how does that feel for you, slipping into the skin of that character? What it's like to slip into your character? How do you feel like when you're acting in character?
I think the biggest difference between Missandei and I is like the physicality. She's very contained and everything's very sort of poised, if you like. And I'm not like that all of the time, and I think it's quite hard to fight certain instincts to like talk with your hands and be animated. So sometimes it's a bit of a struggle, but yeah, I guess when I'm playing Missandei, I feel much more thoughtful and of the things that I'm doing, and I'm considering the movements and the words, everything is so much more thought about. So yeah, I think I just feel a lot more still, I guess, is the word.
I'm thinking in the past where, yeah, it's all about that makeup for 2.5, 3 hours, and then still there's no casting and crew, and I've been in there for hours on set getting this bloody face on, and then I've got the armour on, and I've been there for hours, and breakfast is 4 hours late, and blah blah. And see, by the time I've got on set, I'm the hound, I'm one grumpy mother, and I'm ready for a fight. So that's helped. But I'm also a little kid at heart. I remember going through the paint hall at Belfast, and I've got this big cape, and I'm doing something with Joffrey or something, and I see my shadow as I'm going behind the scenes just to get to the set, walking along this big corridor and seeing this giant man walking ahead with the cape, and I can't help going, and I know I'm going to be filming in the next 10 minutes, and I'm going, I'm Darth Vader, I'm not Darth Vader, I'm the Hound. This is serious. But,
question for both of you. Is the mountain really that tall?
I've not met him in person, I don't think. Oh, he's like probably the one I've not met, actually. I'm sure you know.
big guy, I don't like him. Yeah, he's out the present Gregor I have seen on television now, and he's like at least the #2 strongest man in the world at the moment, and he is massive. He's from Iceland, Halfdan, lovely man, gentleman. I think he's about 10 years younger than me. But I couldn't make up now, but he's massive. He has arms like you wouldn't believe.
Okay, the question is about the dragon, so probably for you, Nathalie. Best guess, who are the two dragons that are kind of not imprinted yet going to listen to? Whose dragons are those going to be?
The two that aren't. Because Drogon is obviously,
Yes, he's
that's
chosen,
Danny,
yes.
that's Danny's boy, like she's, well, I don't know.
Would you like one
I
of
think
your
I'd
own?
like the smallest one. The sort of the least ferocious one, if I was to imprint on one. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, large dragons or something that I would be good at.
Hi, so my question is for Nathalie. You have some beautiful dresses and robes in this show, and it must be quite like a princess to put them on. So have you got some kind of new feeling when you get into those beautiful, beautiful dresses? How does that feel?
Oh, I definitely feel like a princess. I'm like swanning about, like, you know, like I'm some regal princess or something. Yeah, I do. I love my clothes on Game of Thrones. Michelle, who is the costume designer, is just so talented. And with each year, I go to a fitting and she's like, well, this is what we've just kind of come up with, and it's just so beautiful. The fabrics they use, just the attention to detail, the stitching, a lot of which is done by hand. And it's just so beautiful, and it actually makes it so easy to become a Sunday. And that's true for not just the costumes, but the sets as well, because the sets and everything are so beautiful. You're literally walking into this world, and it makes it very easy to go, okay, Nathalie stopped now, and now we're in a Sunday, and it's great. And I feel, what's great is that I feel very beautiful in them, and that's always lovely. You want to feel comfortable. You don't want to feel self-conscious when you're trying to embody another character. So I'm very, very lucky in that sense, and I love it.
Yeah, hi. I want to know who is your most hated character in Game of Thrones?
Can I have two?
Yes.
I don't like that, but he's dead now, but I hated that wee shit Joffrey. And I bet you can guess the other one. We're talking about that big guy, that big brother that burnt the hound's face. Yeah, the hound didn't like him either.
See, it's hard because the characters that you hate, you love them as well. It's so hard. I have this thing of like, you love to hate them. But definitely Joffrey was, I really didn't like that kid. He was asking for it, in my opinion. So.
Who we must say in real life is one of the nicest guys. Jack is one of the nicest guys I've ever worked for. And if I hear he gets any more hassle, I'm going to have to go out and sort them out.
Yeah, me too. Not that I could do much.
I'm so sorry for the rest of you guys, but we have to cut this panel short and we have to start the next one. So one last applause for Miss and